Hello, Tim's RV Tips here with a momentous day here. I've been dreaming of this day for 6 to 9 months about getting hot water out of the Tesla Model 3 battery. So today I'm going to show you how I get the hot water through various systems, 220 volt system in the rig. So it's about 9 a.m. We're getting some sun on the solar panels here, maybe about 200 watts here. That's helping to charge the battery. But here's a picture of the van build in progress. And you might ask the question, why do I have a hose going into my house? Well, that's because we're testing the hot water system with kind of freezing cold water here. It's went down to 34 last night, so we'll see how this system can heat the battery. Okay, so inside the house we have a bucket, we have a mouse, and you'll see why we need the mouse. Here's our hot water faucet. It is from China. I like the system. I'll show you a photo of inside. It's a coil heater, 3,000 watts, and it's connected into our Tesla Model 3 battery, shown here, as well as a 220 volt inverter, a 6,000 watt inverter from China as well. And now for some marketing. Why would we want to put in a system like this? Well, number one, no smelly, inconvenient, dangerous propane in the rig whatsoever. It's all electric. It's very efficient. So you're not storing hot water in a hot water tank, thereby eliminating the extra systems, all kind of systems to store the hot water. It's fast. It comes out in as little as 3 seconds. It took me longer. I had 34-degree water, so it took about 10 seconds to get hot water up from that, but not bad. And also simple. It's just one wire going to the system from your inverter. So it is a 3,000 watt inverter, but nonetheless than 220 volts. And it's cheap, $30. So it came from China, but it seems to be fairly well built and reliable, and if it breaks, you can always buy another one. Now here's the inside of the coil. It's a simple immersion heater, just a heavy duty one. It's 3,000 watts, and it's fed from the 220 volt inverter, which is a 6,000 watt inverter in the rig. So here's a 6,000 watt inverter hooked up. It came with rather strange plugs, so I had to gang the plugs and get all the power accumulated into one connection for the 6,000 watts for this Chinese inverter. So here's the plumbing connections. Has standard thread size, just a regular Home Depot type of connection. Shows some of the specs on it. The hot and cold labels upside down, but I don't know which way you would want to read it. Shows you the more specs, and here's the manual. Helpful, a little bit helpful. Shows right there is the parts, the way you're supposed to hook it up, but it's easy to hook up. It's just a connection to the faucet and the electric. So you can see the steam coming out of the faucet here, and you can also see the high current load that's on the system. It's only showing 14 amps because I'm charging the system right now too, and but it's a 3,000 watt load on the inverter system. As you can see, it's showing here 52 degrees water here, and it is pretty hot. That's if you go full force, the temperature goes down, or it can go down. So it gives a good amount of hot water. So not to bore you too much, but here's a schematic of the system. As you can see here, the Tesla Model 3 battery pack, the 220 volt AC inverter, and the automatic transfer switch applies 220 volts to the 20 amp circuit breaker using 12 gauge wire. So even though I had 6 gauge in there, that was way too high. Only 12 gauge is needed because it's 20 amps going to this hot water faucet. I can also, if I wanted to, put a mini split system in the van, a 220 volt high efficiency version. So as you can see here, I'm going to investigate this trouble code. And we go into diagnostic trouble codes. And we have this fault here, freeze frame data, weak pack fault. So apparently it loaded down the pack. Now the state of charge here right now is about 20%. So I'll have to make sure when I want hot water that the pack state of charge is higher than this. The cells were getting a little bit low here, down in the 20% area. So we'll have to look at this, investigate this. But the fact is, I got hot water out from a Tesla Model 3 battery pack, 3,000 watt load on it. If you've liked this video, please subscribe. You'll see as we go here testing in the testing phase of this hot water system and other systems, how it performs in solutions that I've developed for this Tesla Model 3 battery pack. And what I would say arguably is the most sophisticated electrical system in any Sprinter van on the planet. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe.